Most couples think they fight about money. What they're fighting about is fear. One person who's always terrified they're not going to have enough. One person always feels like they're being controlled financially. And typically, money or revenues or earning or income and spending aren't really the problem. What they're doing is they're avoiding the truth of sitting down together and having a conversation and having a weekly or monthly or quarterly or annual meeting about money and finances. And here's the thing. If you have secrets, if you keep hidden bank accounts, if maybe you're spending money or saving money or doing things that the other person doesn't know about, investing in high-risk things that maybe they're unaware of, these are those money secrets that are going to destroy your relationship faster than any sort of bad investment's going to. So if you're someone who's hiding credit card debt, or you are hiding debt payments for things that you don't want your partner to know about, what's funny is you can recover from almost any financial mistake that you made. Heck, my ex-wife and I opened up a real estate company in 2005. By the time we hit 2009, we were $750,000 in debt. Now, we did that together, and we knew what we did to ourselves together. But we were able to recover from that. And that was not one of the reasons why eventually we got divorced. It was not a money and finance issue. So you can easily recover from those things. But if one spouse thinks that there's 50 grand up in a savings account, and all of a sudden there's only 15 and they want to know where the money goes, that's not a money issue. That is a trust issue. That is somebody who's doing things secretly behind the other person's back. And that's where you see people get more of themselves in money and finance issues. Secrets in money and finance, they collect interest just like debt. If you're keeping secrets, it's like if you're not telling the truth, you just know over time, somewhere down the road, it is going to come back to bite you in the ass. So with that being said, what you have to do is make sure you're on the same team. Don't fight each other on this stuff, right? You want to make sure you guys are sitting on the same end of the table. We're trying to win the game of money and finance together as a relationship. So you have to have your money and your finances and your budget out on the table. You've got to know that what's coming in, what's going out, what investments you might have. Are there any bonuses or raises coming in the future so you can start planning for those? And you've got to get the goals, the financial freedom goals and numbers out on the table and figure out where the hell it is we're trying to get financially. My ex-wife rode horses. Horses were much more expensive than my annual snowboard pass or me playing as many rounds of golf as I wanted to. And we were on the same page about this stuff. I wasn't mad at her for having horses. I knew we were getting ourselves in. But how do we work on this and solve this stuff together, right? It's real easy to worry too much about the future and worry about saving and investing too much and not enjoying your life now. Like there's certain things that at 55 years old, I'm not going to be able to do when I'm 75 years old. So there's certain vacations, certain trips, certain fun things I want to do. I need to do them now and not worry about waiting and waiting and waiting. So you play this game all the time with the back and forth. And so some people, you have different money personalities, right? Some are savers, some are spenders, some are free spirits and don't want to think about past next week. As long as the two of you are communicating that with each other and understanding what you need and what it takes to make both of you happy within that relationship, then those are the conversations you need to have. And that is how you're able to save a marriage, strictly speaking from a financial perspective, so that you're not going to ruin each other as far as that stuff goes. So here's what my challenge is to you, okay? 1 hour a week will change everything, especially at the beginning, okay? No blaming, no pointing fingers at each other, no lectures, no scorekeeping. We're going to start off with just information. And where do we start? So number one, where we want to start is what's in the checking account? What's in the savings account? What kind of credit card and other debts do we have? It's kind of a starting point. It's like your balance sheet. Where are we today? What do we have? Good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter. However you got where you are is where you are, right? And then what are any upcoming things that maybe aren't in our normal budget, right? Do you have any vacations planned? Do we have any long-term maintenance on a house that we have to deal with? What things do we have coming forward that we need to incorporate into our budget that we're not even thinking about right now as our balance sheet snapshot that we're looking at? And then what we want to do is then we want to make progress. So we want to make sure we have an emergency fund so that when we get to those debts being paid off, then when emergencies happen, we'll have cash going forward to take care of those things. We want to make sure that we're investing. We want to make sure that we have money going towards extra payments on our mortgage, especially if you have a really high interest rate. And then the thing that we also want to talk about is anything that stresses you out about all of this financial conversation. So if there are certain things that when you have conversations with your spouse are just hard, stressful, scary, for a lot of people, this is the number one reason why their marriage might be a disaster at the moment. Most financial disasters didn't happen in one day. And so recovering from whatever financial mess you might be in isn't going to happen in one day too. Because, if you didn't talk about this for months and months and months, it's not just going to be, able to be fixed overnight. So if you're watching this, what I want you to do is put on your calendar one recurring appointment on your calendar, 30 to 60 minutes. Pick a day. It could be Sunday. It could be during the week. Pick an evening. Do something when the kids are in bed. Find one day a week to start having this weekly financial counseling meeting. No phones, no TVs, no kids, nothing, but we're going to talk about this. We're going to get on the same page. We're going to attack this in a manner that we can both live with, both be happy about, so that we can then keep moving forward as far as that stuff goes. So you don't need to agree on every purchase. You don't need to agree on every dollar that does everything, but you got to get on the same page so that you can honestly sit down and understand we're going in the same direction and we're trying to win at this game of money and finance. And here's the thing. Financial freedom isn't just about dollars and cents. It's really about building a relationship that people know we're on the same page, we're standing side by side, we're working together, so that someday we're going to be in a situation where we are financially free. Take it from me, from someone who sits in a lot of living rooms and sits in front of couples that are selling homes for bad reasons and are getting divorced because strictly their money and finance game was not in order. You do not want to be those couples. You do not want to be those couples, okay? Reach out with questions. I'm happy to help. Hopefully this was helpful to you, and look forward to seeing you on another video sooner than later.